Alrighty, hello flogs and flogettes, it's your boy BD3 coming at you live from down under in Australia with another NBA recap, right? And today, well, I'm going to change it up a little bit, alright? I'm going to move the format around a bit and bring something new out. I am going to today run through my Western Conference for next year, right? Who I think are going to be in the finals at the end of next season, right? So we're going to start from the bottom. We're going to do their play-in essentially, and then I'll work my way up through the rankings and where they'll finish at the end of next season, right? So don't forget to like and subscribe, all that crap, you know the drill. And we will kick straight on. So get a drink in you, and let's get into it. Alrighty, so on the outside looking in, right? So these are the teams that will finish 9th and 10th after the play-in, I think, right? I've got Houston. Now, fucking Houston and OKC rivalry, right here. Houston fans there, I can already hear you coming at me on the fucking Twitterverse, right? Calm down, right? I actually really like what you're doing. I think you guys are probably just a year away. You're a year away from being a year away right now, right? I think next year, Şengün and Jabari Smith Jr. completely take over the team. It's going to be great. My concerns are more around, I don't believe Jalen Green can really become more than a high-volume, inefficient shooter long-term. Like, he can have those spurts, those 10, 12 games maybe, where he shows what the best version of Jalen Green could be, but for the rest of the time, he's just Jalen Green, and it's not enough, right? Fred VanVleet, fuck, that's a mouthful, is not getting any better, and he's not getting any younger, and he's not getting any taller, right? And I just don't rate Dylan Brooks, right? He can hit some threes, he's a great defender, but he's a fuckwit. He's just a fucking idiot, right? And I think he'll hurt you more than he helps you, right? But I think you guys are one piece away, one good off-season away from being right there in the mix, right? So it's a positive thing for me, for Houston, right? And the other one for me after that is the Phoenix Suns. Now, I already had a comment in one of my other videos saying that I was being a hater on the Phoenix Suns. I am not a hater. I love KD. He is one of my favorite players all time. But I just hate to see the way they're set up is not set up to win. They are not set up efficiently at all. They've got three players who are almost identical as high volume shooters, mid-range scorers in Beal, KD, and Booker, and it makes them all fucking redundant from each other, right? What's the point of having three of them, right? Only one ball, one person can have it at any one time. It's a waste of space and money. And you can't even get rid of him. You can't even trade Beal. He's got no trade clause, and he's fucking making $50 million next year, you know? And KD's not getting any younger. None of these guys have any kind of quality long-term health during a season. I have no faith that any of them can stay healthy for an extended period of time. So, and they've got no bench. They've got no depth, right? So for me, Suns, I'm sorry. I think you guys are fucked. You're up shit creek without a paddle, and I don't know how you dig yourself out of this hole. It's like that fucking Simpsons episode, you know? No, dig up, stupid. Fucking, you got no chance, right? Moving on to the final 8, right? Coming in the 8th seed, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. And I can't put them any higher, but I can't throw them out of the finals completely because LeBron and AD, when firing, are still one of the best tandems in the world. I love Austin Reeves. I think he just gives you the right stuff. D'Lo, not a huge fan, but he's going to win you some games during the regular season. He's going to have some great games, he's going to have some great stretches. You can't really play him much in the playoffs, but he'll get you there. But I do love the Connect pickup at 17 in the draft this year. I think he's going to come in immediately and help. It reminds me a lot of Jaime Jaquez from last year, right? I think he's going to come in and contribute immediately to this team, right? So I think there's some opportunities there for some growth, for some team depth as well. And, you know, who knows what Bronny will probably spend half his year in the G League. That's not relevant. But I think the Lakers, they'll finish somewhere in that play-in range and they'll get the 8th seed. Coming in at number 7, we have the New Orleans Pelicans. And this is 100% to do with Zion's health. If Zion can stay healthy, they can probably go a lot higher. If he can't, they might miss the playoffs altogether, right? It is a fucking crapshoot gamble when it comes to New Orleans. So I've kind of played it safe, gone in the middle, said the 7th seed. I like the DeJounte Murray addition to the team. They didn't have to give up any of their big wings like Herb Jones or anything like that. So I think it's a good fit for them. It gives them another quality ball handler that for the most part can stay on the pitch, stay on the field, stay on the court, whatever you want to fucking call it. Yes, you call it a court. What am I talking about? But My point is he can stay healthy and he can run that team when Zion's not there, right? So I think that will help you throughout the regular season. But at the end of the day, it comes down to Zion. If he's not healthy, you're fucked. If he is, fucking shit hot, yeah. Right? Coming in at number 6. Now, this is a team that's taken a big jump, which I don't think anyone should really be surprised with. But it's Memphis. Jar's back. You know, Smart, can he stay healthy? Can Jaren Jackson ever pass the ball instead of shooting it first? Who knows? These are questions we need to get answers for, right? But if Jar comes back and he is a resemblance of the player that he was when he came back briefly last year and the year before that, he's still one of the best guards in the game, right? And I have always been a big Jar, and I was vehemently pushing for Jar to be the number 1 pick that year, right? Because I just thought Zion was going to get injured too much. He couldn't get his weight right. I have always been Camp Jar, right? And I feel like I've been vindicated in terms of his play on the court. Unfortunately, it's all the shit off the court that fucks it up, right? But we're not talking about that. If Jar's back and he's healthy and he's playing, this team can climb probably a lot higher than 6, but there's just too many questions for me right now, so they sit at the 6th seed. Coming in at number 5 is a team that has just jumped into the number 5 spot, and that is the Sacramento Kings. I like the DeMar DeRozan trade. I think they got him for pennies on the dollar. I think he'll actually help their offense. He will be able to work with the way that they move, and they do these dribble handoffs with Sabonis. And at the end of games or at the end of shot clocks, he can just get you a bucket, right? And that killed Sacramento last year. You still got Malik Monk coming off the bench. He's going to be absolutely awesome. I would have him as my favorite for 6th man of the year again. So yeah, for me, Sacramento, I think they've made all the right moves on the peripheries, and then they've got in an actual start, 24, 5, and 5 a night that can get you some buckets. So I like that. Coming in at number 4, all of my OKC fans and friends are going to hate me, but I like them. The Dallas Mavericks, right? I think they're going to be a good team this year. Luka's going to be vying for that MVP. You know he wants it. You fucking know. Anyone here that thinks he's not playing just for MVP, he's not going to fucking pad the shit out of his stats to get MVP, you're fucking dreaming. And you know what? I don't have a problem with it, right? If Luka wants to add an MVP to his war chest because he wants to continue to build his legacy, he should absolutely do that. Fucking Joel Embiid did it a couple of years ago, right? Why can't Luka, right? He's going to fucking average 30 points, 11 assists, 11 rebounds, and he's going to be in a good team. They're going to be a top 4 team if what I'm saying is correct. He's got every chance to win himself his first MVP. So I think internal development from Lively as well as Kyrie getting his head right again. Like, if he can be the Kyrie from this year again, people forget how good Kyrie is because of all the dumb shit he does off the court, right? And like, you can sit there and go, he's spiritual, he's this and that, he's a thought-provoking, but no, he's a fuckwit sometimes, right? And that happens, right? We're all fuckwits sometimes. But if he can keep his head right, he can really help this team. And I think they are going to have another deep playoff run. And I tell you what, I wouldn't want to run into the fucking Luka-led Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs. So I think they're going to be vying for a top 4 seed this year, but I think they sit just outside those top 3 teams. All right, so number 4, Dallas Mavericks. Coming in at number 3, it's the Denver Nuggets. They dropped down a spot. I think they've gotten, of the 3 teams, or the 3 or 4 teams in this area, they're the ones that improved the least, right? They lost KCP, another big wing guard defender rotation piece for them. It hurts them. But it more hurts them because the other teams around them are getting better. But if Jamal stays healthy and Joker stays healthy, that is the deadliest 2-man combination in the league. And Joker is still, by my estimation, the greatest player on the planet, right? So if he's healthy and he's playing, you have got yourself a top 3 seed right there just because of that, right? How does Aaron Gordon continue to play? Is he going to start to fall off a bit? Who's going to fill that KCP role? What's their bench going to be like? Is Christian Braun going to be improving? Like, there's a lot of question marks. And then for a team that was well built 2 years ago, as you'll ever see in terms of a team dynamic, they are falling apart a little bit right now. And it's a little bit concerning. But you've still got Joker, you've still got Jamal. If they can stay healthy, they're a top 3 seed. Coming in at number 2, it is the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's right, Timbers come in at number 2. I think the internal development of Ant continuing to grow into his role as the man on that team. And he is, don't fucking let anyone fool you, he is the guy in that team. He is 1 and 1A, right? And if he can continue to grow as that player, continue to work on his game, continue to understand how to facilitate and run that offense, it's only going to be good things for that team. I'm about to have a fucking another heart attack again, so I need a drink. Right? I like Chris Finch as a coach. I think he's an excellent coach. He'll continue to grow that team's chemistry. Mike Conley comes back for that veteran presence. And then you've got Gobert and Cat. If they continue just doing what they did last year, they will find success, right? And I absolutely love that they went out and they saw a player that fit one of the needs that they had, and they just went up and drafted him at 8. They jumped to 8 to draft him. Love the Dillingham pickup. I think he's going to be great and an instant asset for this team. Minnesota number 2. And that means, drum roll and all that shit, right? That our number 1 team in the West will be none other than the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's right, my Thunder will be once again the number 1 seed in the West. And why wouldn't they be, right? You were the number 1 seed last year, right? And all you've done is gotten better, right? The 2 biggest issues this team had were Josh Giddey couldn't play any defense and he couldn't shoot, and fucking we couldn't get any rebounds, right? And we have solved both of those issues emphatically. We brought in Alex Caruso, a perfect role player who plays all NBA level defense and shoots 41% from 3, can actually create a little as well. And then you bring in Isaiah Hartenstein, who was like one of the top 10 offensive and defensive rebounders in the league last year, and a great defender to pair him with the existing core of SGA, J-Dub, Chet, right? And then you want to talk depth, we've got Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Aaron Wiggins, fucking Lugens Dort. Like, we have these auxiliary pieces around that can play their roles really well, right? And we can mix and match these starting lineups to suit need, right? If we need to go big, we can run our double big lineup. If we need to run small and run them off the court and shoot them out of the gym, we can do that too. And we're always going to have defenders. Cason Wallace as well, I think, takes a jump this year, right? And I think, not having our draft pick this year is not going to be a big issue for us, right? Because he's not going to play. He wasn't going to play many minutes anyway. Is Ousmane Dieng going to take a jump? I would love to see that. I'm not hopeful, but I would love to see it. So I think for a team that was the number 1 in the West last year, I think they improved enough to continue to be the number 1 in the West. But that's top to bottom my West, right? So we've got OKC, Minnesota, Denver, Dallas, Sacramento, Memphis, New Orleans Pelicans, and then the Los Angeles Lakers, right? That's your top 8 in the West, guys. Lock it in, put your fucking mortgage on it, because that's what's going to happen, right? But that is another episode of me drunkenly rambling about the NBA. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please drop fucking comments and all that shit if you want to fucking call me a hater or a piece of shit. That's fine. I appreciate the engagement. But if you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, all that bullshit. You know the drill. I hope you got a drink in you. And as always, I'll see you next time. And don't forget to go fuck yourself.